Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with a brand new video. If you guys, today we don't have a super fun topic to go over, but it is quite important if you're someone who's invested into things, and more specifically CSGO investing, as that's mainly what we focus on here. We're going to be talking about some major things that have really been happening over the past week, but before we hop on into that one, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, DMarket. The sponsor for today's video is DMarket. Now, DMarket is not only just a super fast and super convenient to use marketplace, but they also have a lot of really useful trading features. Now on DMarket, when you're looking to trade your skins, I highly suggest you use the trading feature rather than selling off your inventory and then buying some new skins. If you were to sell off your inventory and then buy new skins, you're going to be coming out around 12% better than the Steam market, which is still very nice, but if you use the trading feature, you're going to be coming out between 17 and 20% better in the situations that I found. And don't forget to make sure you sort your items using the best deals and best discount sorter options. Both of those are going to be the most potential profit you can find, and make sure you click that best price on global market just to make sure you're getting the best price in the entire world. Other than that, I want to thank DMarket so much for sponsoring this video. Let's hop on into it. Now, the video topic for today is going to be talking pretty broadly, and we're going to be narrowing it into specifically talking about the Steam community market and the impact that's going to be happening on CSGO investing because of these major financial disasters that have really been going around among most of the people in the world. Now, I do want to mention that we're going to talk about cryptocurrency a little bit. This video is not specifically focused on cryptocurrency. It is, however, a pretty important topic when we're talking about the downfall of a lot of investments here, and it's something that we're going to talk about for briefly a minute, so let's hop on into that right now. Now, when we're talking about cryptocurrency, there's been a lot of decreases in prices from pretty much the entire market. Now, I'm sure you've heard of this. I'm not going to hammer on this. There's been a couple big ones, one of which is Luna, that's gone down pretty much 99%. Now, when we translate that over to the Steam community market, it's very roughly what we can see. I mean, there's definitely going to be some relation there. There is some relationship between cryptocurrency and CSGO skins. They're both digital assets, and you might think the comparison stops there. You might think it goes on. But the main thing we're going to be talking about here is what really is going to happen because of this. Now, I do think there is going to be some change in the Steam community market because of this crypto downfall. However, I don't think it's really going to be playing a significantly negative approach. I think people are definitely going to be a little bit more hesitant to invest into digital assets moving forward, which might hurt CSGO investments in the short term here. It might not. It's hard because we don't really know the impact that something like this is going to have a couple months down the line. We've seen cryptocurrencies crash in the past. They're going to crash again in the future. At this time, it's not something that we really have a definitive answer on, but it's something that I can confidently state I don't think we're going to see a super major impact into the Steam community market other than people panic selling, which is something that is generally not too big of a concern of mine moving forward. Overall speaking, for cryptocurrency though, I don't think that it's going to specifically have an impact, but we might see a bit of an overlap because most of the people that are invested into cryptocurrency and hold the high amount of risk that it does are probably more likely to invest into CSGO skins and maybe have a position in this situation as well, and therefore they might want to get out of it. Now, the other topic is US stocks, and more specifically, we're going to look at the S&P 500. Basically, the gist you need to get is it's going down pretty hard. I mean, when we look in the last month, we're down around 12%. And while this is a topic that generally tries to equate itself over into politics, I'm going to try and avoid that at all costs at this point. I don't think that's something really many people care about in a CSGO investing video. Now, what does this mean for the Steam community market? Well, I think this one definitely plays a bigger impact than cryptocurrency in my opinion, because this one impacts pretty much everyone in the world. While cryptocurrency definitely does impact some people, there are a large majority of the population that don't care about cryptocurrency at all, and therefore they're probably not going to be affected as significantly as something like this. Now, when we're talking about the S&P 500 here, I think this one definitely equates to more of a significance than the cryptocurrency does when we're talking about the Steam community market here. Now, when we're talking about investing into CSGO, it's generally viewed as a luxury. Well, it's something that you want to do, it's not something you need to do to survive, and obviously if you have something such as food, that's going to be coming major miles ahead of over-investing into the Steam community market, and especially over buying digital assets that are not going to feed you. This could be the one major thing that first pops out to me is people are not going to be having as much money to spend on CSGO if they need that money somewhere else. If one, maybe it's viewed as a better investment to invest into crypto or US stocks, they're probably not going to be doing so in investing into CSGO. Now, I don't think that one's the big one. I think the big one's definitely going to be that the cost of living is going up. There's a lot of things that really take priority over CSGO investing. Therefore, I don't think they're going to be piling as much money into CSGO investing as we would usually see. And therefore, a lot of CSGO items are probably not going to see the growth that they usually see, especially if we do see a similar amount of investors in something like Antwerp. Now, something like this is very hard to speak on. Once again, we don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, if I knew what was going to happen, I wouldn't be creating a YouTube video for everyone to know. I'd be specifically moving my money strategically to get the best outcome. And that's something a lot of people have to realize is no one knows exactly when this is going to stop. And that's the hardest part here. When we're talking about CSGO investing at this time, considering all of these other financial markets are down significantly, the CSGO market is doing relatively well. We've got our breakout case, which is one of the major indicators at this point, which is sitting at the exact same price it has been for roughly a week at this point. And when we look at the month graph, it's up roughly 10%, which is extremely nice considering a lot of markets around it have been suffering. This could be a really good thing for the game if you view it optimistically, and the view that this might bring a lot of other people to potentially start to look at investing into CSGO. We kind of saw it with the Chinese site of Upin, where a lot of Chinese people were investing into CSGO because they didn't have an option otherwise. This could be something that is now viewed as, in the rest of the world, maybe a better investment than they might have thought. Moving overall to the CSGO market here, I think something like this definitely provides a really good opportunity for the game. Now, it does come with some pretty unfortunate circumstances, as a significant amount of people have lost a significant amount of money elsewhere. In the actual Steam community market and CSGO investing scene, we really haven't seen price drops at all, which is absolutely crazy if you think about that for a second, that almost every other investment in the world has really gone down significantly, at least the mainstream ones. We're talking about the big ones. And here we're really seeing a pretty stable price and even some price increases. Now, I do want to warn you that a lot of greed comes from times like this, and especially things like we saw with the Challenger sticker capsule. It is a good investment if you are able to get in at 25 cents. Now that that price point is 7 or 8 times that, is it really a good investment? You got to ask yourself. I don't think that buying during that uptrend was a good idea. That's why I sold off a significant portion of my capsules. I don't think I'm going to be buying in because I think there is probably better opportunities. But at this point, I could understand potentially buying in. I just want to warn you that there is a million people out there trying to push their investments onto you. It's a lot of things we see on Reddit, a lot of things you'll see on YouTube here. There was another person I was talking to that's pretty big into the CSGO investing scene. I'm not going to name them, but their exact quote was, people want to self-justify their investments. And that's something we saw a lot with Stockholm here, where people were kind of parading one way or the other, becoming very polarized on Stockholm, whether it was a good investment or not. It didn't matter, because you needed to be on their side. Overall, I just want to say, make sure you're being careful with your investments. Always be doing your own research here. And the CSGO market is sitting in roughly, at least at this time, a pretty decent position considering the circumstances. But as always, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.